What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Back. Man, I just found this video. I haven't watched it yet, but I wanted to watch it with, with an audience. So the reactions I give be genuine. I watched about maybe 5 seconds of the intro, like the lady introducing herself. But the title alone kind of intrigued me, and I seen how much reaction it was getting as far as the numbers. And so I just figured, you know what, let me chime in on this lady's topic. Says she was an ex white supremacist. So, it's always good to get perspective from people that like former gang members, former gang bangers, or people that used to do certain things. You know what I mean? It's always good to get some, it's like inside information. You know what I mean? So I'm going to I don't even see my video. Oh, you know what? I don't got to do that, but I do need to do this. Yeah, so welcome back for another episode. Marlon Speaks Live, man. Let me go ahead and cue my intro. Yeah, so here's the video right here. Make the screen bigger. Yeah, check it out, y'all. I want y'all to see it in real time with me. So, so y'all can literally see what I'm seeing when I'm seeing it. Dang, I wonder why. Hold up, maybe I need to refresh it. I'm trying to make sure I'm streaming on all the platforms. Yeah, I'm streaming on. Okay, bet. All right. Stu Nino, what's the word, baby? Stu Nino, my baby. We got us a Spike Lee, the Spike Lee of Flint, Stu Nino. I'm the Suncrest Drive director up in here, man. What's going on, my brother? Yeah, man, I met Stu Nino. We was at Little Caesars. Also, just in there getting some hot and readies, and we just started talking. We probably met back in the day, but that day we just started talking like regular dudes, and end up like, oh yeah, I do this and I do that, and we chopped it up, and ended up, getting each other numbers, man, and that's what I do, man. In Flint, man, I don't care who you is. First time meet you, man, I like to lock in. And a lot of times what I find out is we be 1 degree separation away from each other. You know what I'm saying? 1 degree. You know what I'm saying? So after me and Stu Nino chopped it up, we ended up finding out that we had been crossed paths back in the day, but just hadn't seen each other in probably 20 years. You know what I mean? So that's how Flint is, man. I don't know if anybody understand how relevant that is to why we, that's like our superpower. You know what I'm saying? Our superpower is that we small. That's a blessing, man. Places like Detroit and bigger cities, they can't do what we do. Don't nobody know each other. You know what I'm saying? We tapped in because we know each other. That's the benefit. But a lot of people from Flint, they use the small city as a weapon. They abuse the fact that they might know somebody where somebody's house at. You know what I'm saying? They go do something to them. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that I know where everybody stay at because I know where the love at. So yeah, man, shout out to Stu Nino, man. One of the best directors that I ain't really ever met too many directors, but yeah. But I'm gonna stay on point, stay on topic. I'm actually scanning all my social medias to make sure that they Okay, I got some other people in here. What's up? What's up, Step Fatty? Who's that? Yeah, on Instagram. I see you. What's the word? So yeah, man, I'm gonna get into this. YouTube, my YouTube people. Let me add this chat on here where y'all will be able to see the comments on the stage. I don't know why my Instagram not showing up. I don't know why. So I'm still kind of new to this, so I'm trying to make sure all this shit lining up right. I don't see no comments on FB. But yeah, hopefully when y'all next time y'all comment, it'll show up on the screen. I'm trying to, involve the audience with this. So yeah, man, this is a video, like I said earlier, of a former white supremacist. I'm assuming that she was the former white supremacist. That's what kind of caught my attention. I'm like, damn, this kind of unique for a white woman to be a white supremacist, which, if y'all know the history of white supremacy, it's the men that we see, but it's always that, men got mothers, you know what I'm saying? Men got mothers. So, these racist white men are raised by racist white mothers. Yeah, it's no, they try to play like they, angels. No, these men get that hate from their mothers. Yeah, that's where they get it from. They get nurtured into hate. That's why when you see little kids looking at you crazy, black people see the little white kids looking at you crazy. Yeah, they getting that from that. They getting that young. They getting that hate young. Even racist dogs. They raise their dogs to be racist. You can feel it. Dog be looking at you like you want to bite you and shit. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, they raise their dogs to be racist, man. This ain't no motherfucking illusion. Yeah, so look, this white lady, I guess she says she a former white supremacist. It's crazy when you see these former, these former, these former Republican MAGA talking online, and they be getting so much reaction. But I don't really, I be reading between the lines on that shit, man. A lot of them sensationalizing this shit. They ain't really sincere, They doing this shit for some fucking clicks and views. Real shit. But yeah, I just want to hear what she got to say because I know it's going to be interesting. But I'm sure she doing this for shock value. I don't think most of the time these motherfuckers be sincere.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jenny Gage, and this is Life Take 2. I've been sitting at my desk writing out a script as a response to the Stephen Miller part of Charlie Kirk's memorial, and I have been bawling my eyes out. And here's what I was thinking. I would rather pause right now, throw away the entire script, and give you just my raw response than sit here and make something sound perfect. I haven't even had a shower yet. I went for my jog this morning with Kevin, and we're just going to do this. If you're new to me, I am a former white supremacist, Christian nationalist, big time MAGA follower, Trump supporter. I left the Mormon church, my alt-right religious community, and gradually deconstructed all of that just recently. I just left MAGA 2 years ago. I left the Mormon church 7 years ago, left Christianity about the same time that I left MAGA. And I've saved this video. I've saved watching this portion of the Charlie Kirk Memorial, which was here in my hometown. I am an Arizona girl. I grew up in Scottsdale, part of my life, not too far away from the family, although Eric is much.
Scottsdale is outside of Phoenix, supposed to be the rich part of Phoenix, Arizona. From my understanding, it's like if you in Detroit, it'd be like Birmingham, your Birminghams, Beverly Hills, Oakland County type shit. Here, it'd be in Flint, be more like your Grand Blancs, your Flushings, your Fenton and all that shit. Yeah, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Younger than me, so we never crossed paths. I haven't watched this video. I've watched other portions of the funeral, and the first time I watched it was just half an hour ago when I began to script about it. So let's dive into this. I hope not just to give you a response, but to translate what he's saying, because I think there's so much that only a former white supremacist can see.
The angels wept, but those tears have been turned into fire in our hearts. And that fire burns with a righteous fury that our enemies cannot comprehend or understand.
So right there is a former cult member and somebody who was part of the alt-right and hardcore Christian nationalist. Every cult has an in-group and an out-group. You have to have a leader, you have to have a purpose, you have to have the pure genetic pool or the pure membership. Purity is everything. And from the very get-go here, he's talking about angels. So he's sanctifying everything that he's going to say here. We speak for God, the angels are behind us, and our enemies, that's the out-group. This is terrifying in the first 8 seconds here.
When I see...
Yeah, I said the same thing, man. When I heard that dude talk, and just looking at him, you can tell that, you know, he got a lot of trauma built up. You could look at him and tell he wasn't popular. You know, I did some research on this guy, Stephen Miller. A lot of y'all might not know who he is, but he's pretty much the mastermind behind everything we seeing with Donald Trump. You know, he is the author, one of the authors of the Project 2025. So, you know, my black people especially, man, y'all got to get in tune. Y'all got to, look, stop smoking so much motherfucking weed and stand high and trying not to see this shit. This shit is real. This is long over. Like, they've been working on this for a long time, way before this Stephen Miller dude even came about. He just so happened to be one of a person that thinks so far out, just like the Charlie Kirk dude. They think so far out, you know, like, okay, we could put you in the as to be the face. We could put you up front, but it's a whole lot of people that's been working on today for, you know, 50 plus years, you know what I'm saying, since the 60s, since Martin Luther King. They've been working on today for 50 years, a long time, right? So that's why our people, we got to stay in tune with ourselves. We got to stay in tune with history, and don't be fearful. No, right now ain't no time to be fearful. Right now is the time to, guess what? Do this, stay in tune, and also mobilize. Because you can't do it by yourself. We got to mobilize. That's what I'm doing this for. We got to mobilize. And I don't mean mobilize to be no militia, none of that. What I'm talking about is get together and educate. For the most part, that's what we got to do. And definitely defend ourselves. That's without saying. But I'm talking about educate, man. We got to educate these people on who they are in reference to us. But we got to know who we are first. If we don't know who we are first, we can't educate nobody on who they are in reference to us. And if y'all don't know what I mean, we are the original man. The original man. This skin tone is way more than just some black. We are the original beings. We have to educate these people. Like this lady, she most likely don't even understand that type of stuff. Like, she understand that what that is bad that she was in, but she don't know the solution, the alternative. But I do want to hear her out, so I'm going to keep on playing this video.
See Erica and her strength and her courage. I'm reminded of a famous expression. The storm whispers to the warrior that you cannot withstand my strength. And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm.
I used to love that quote, and I actually had that on my Facebook profile for a long time. And I had this feeling of, I am the storm. And there's a little word in there that a lot of people might have missed, and it's just the word warrior. As a white supremacist, I literally believed that I was this.
That's the word that I picked up on the most, warrior. Yeah. My name mean that. Marlon translate to warrior. So it's warrior speaking live. Yeah. My name mean warrior. And my middle name means soldier. So warrior soldier is who y'all looking at. So yeah, I definitely caught on to that. But in that context at a funeral to speak about being a warrior, you know, and a kind of warrior, he ain't talking about no spiritual warrior. He talking about some harm. That's what he doing. Why? She finna say the same thing.
Warrior. I was the warrior for civilization. I was the warrior for God. I was the warrior for truth. I was the warrior battling for traditional family and everything that civilization was based on. So that little word there is not insignificant.
Erica is the storm. We are the storm. And our enemies cannot comprehend.
Storm troopers, anybody?
And our strength, our determination, our resolve, our passion, our lineage and our legacies hails back to Athens, to Rome, to Philadelphia, to Monticello, our ancestors.
Nah, bro, you come from black people. We all go back to Africa. That's just that, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to educate these people on who they are in reference to us, because they think they started in Europe. No, they did not. You know, no race started in these countries. We all started in Africa, and we was all black. That's why I always say everybody's black. I know it may sound controversial to y'all, but that is the answer to all of this shit. I did a video on it earlier. Look at it. You know, white people finding out this, you know what I'm saying? Like literally saying what I'm saying, you know, and I always said, when white people start saying what I'm saying, that's when people gonna start listening. You know, it just gonna take them to understand it, because like when we know this about ourselves, it's not that controversial and revolutionary. But when these white people start saying, I'm black too. Yeah, you are. And I know a lot of black people not gonna understand, melanated people not gonna understand this. But they all come from us, bro. A lot of our own people, man, what? You know, nah, bro. It is what it is. Accept it. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the problem. These people don't know that they came from us. And I think a lot of people, when they hear people say what I just said, they think it's crazy. But it's not. It's not. It's the truth. It's nothing crazy about it.
Built the cities. They produced the art and architecture. They built the industry. Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors.
Okay, there's that word warrior again. You guys, if you were never white supremacist, you do not understand how terrifying that little bit of this already was. So white supremacy isn't necessarily about hating brown people. It's not about hating African Americans or the indigenous populations of America, First Nations, and
see, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, she did all this for some clicks. She lying. It got to be based on that. You know, a lot of this, okay, I'm going to say it's based off of confusion, not wanting to know the facts, not like they can look at us and see that we the dominant, like genetically, right? That's what a lot of white flight was based on. That's what not wanting to be around is based on fear of us mixing in with them. Because they know, like, if they feared other European people when they moved to this country, you know what I mean? Like, they all ended up mixing in. But with our people, oh no, they couldn't have that. You know why? Because they know them baby would have came out black. That's just all that is. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of fear. She goddamn lie. She's a motherfucking lie.
New Zealand or Australia, people in India, wherever. It's not about hating them. White supremacy is the belief that white people are chosen. Now, a lot of this is based on biblical mythology. It's based on Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, and the belief that Cain...
See, that's another thing. So it's based on that, but see, it's all a lie. If y'all know the picture of Jesus isn't Jesus. That's Caesar Borgia, the son of a pope. So that image isn't even Jesus. That's some prince, basically. I think he was an illegitimate son of the Pope, because the Pope ain't supposed to be having no kids. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to mess with boys. So you know what I mean? So yeah, he was a son of the Pope, Caesar Borgia. Look him up. That's the picture of Jesus. So it's based on false ideology. The white supremacy is based on false ideology. It's based on, because like I said earlier, black people is where everybody comes from Africa, but we know we're not supreme. You know why? Because we just the original. It's just the fact. It's just like talking about math. 0 come before 1. That's it. 1 come before 2. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the first number to get to the second number. We just the first number, but we don't make up all the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So we know that we're not in competition. They just so happen to be the last number, meaning the last human type to develop into, the last race of people, which race is basically a mutation. It's a mutation of this. It's a mutation. That's all it is. It's a mutation. And the ideology came from them not knowing where they come from. So they come up with these religions, then they put a face on it, that imagery, and then that turns into what we know today, white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just false ideology. They don't know where they come from. So that's what I was talking about earlier. We got to teach these people who they are in reference to us. And then guess what? We just love them. You know what I'm saying? They are people. We all each other people. They come from our tribe.
Murdered his brother Abel, so he was cursed with brown skin. That was then carried throughout the flood with Ham. Ham was supposed to have been the father of Egypt and Africa after the ark landed wherever it landed. That was what I was taught in church. A lot of my Christian friends, a lot of early colonists believed that concept, that the curse of Cain was why people from Africa were brown skinned. And white supremacy to me was just, I am that pure lineage straight from Adam and Eve. I remember my granddad saying that there were only approximately 250 generations from Adam and Eve to me. That's, just averaging 25 years or something per human generation span. I don't know exactly what his math figure was to get that, and accounting for we've already lived through 6,000 years of Earth history is the biblical teaching. So from Adam and Eve to me was about 250 generations. I literally believed that my pure bloodline went back to Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I bet science pretty much helped her to change her mind, which I believe a lot of people in her age group, she a little bit younger than me, a lot of them science have exposed a lot of the false ideology. And science helped me to, understand, once they cracked the code of DNA, it helped me understand, oh, you know what? Oh, they could find out the migrational patterns of humans, like when we left Africa. That opened my eyes. So she probably learned what I learned, but it took her, it pulled her out of a rabbit hole that she was already in. Like it just helped me to understand what I've already been feeling. I grew up listening to Farrakhan. So I grew up hearing things like, oh, we're the original man. We're the original man. So like once I found the science, it just verified what I had already felt, you know what I'm saying? And knowing, just like I said, just seeing, looking in the mirror, I know my genes dominant. I knew growing up, don't be playing with these different race of people because they really don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. The odd thing is Stephen Miller is a Jew. Is he? So what the F is he even attacking himself? Bro, it's a lot of blacks and Mexicans. The Proud Boy, JoJo Bean. Okay, you on YouTube. JoJo Bean said that, y'all, I don't know if y'all can see that comment, but yeah, bro. The leader of the Proud Boys, I think he black and Mexican. He from the Caribbean or something like. It's a lot of that. I heard Hitler was a Jew. So self-hate, bro, is the most powerful thing in the world. Self-hate. That's why the so-called black on black crime, that's the phenomenon. That's why it's so powerful, because a lot of them, they don't know who they are. They hate each other. They hate their reflection. So all of this is really a version of the same thing. They just they think they on two different sides, but they the same. It ain't no difference. They people. You know what I'm saying? They confuse people that hate themselves. That's it. Let's finish this, what the lady saying.
Adam was handmade by God. God formed him out of the dust. And in the Bible, when it says that God made Adam in his image, to me as a Christian and a believer in the Bible, literally that Adam and Eve was literal, that Heavenly Father was literal. I believed that God was white. I believed that Jesus was white. And so when they made man in his image, then they made a white man. In the Mormon temple, I would watch videos that showed Adam and Eve in the garden, and Eve had long blonde hair just like me. She looked like Erica.
I believe the opposite. I believe that the original man is black, and science verifies that. So I believe, you know what? I'm made in God's image. Yeah, I'm like, wow. And that's why I tell a lot of young brothers, especially, you are God. And when I say that, it might sound controversial, but what I really mean is we all God, okay? So when I say I'm God, you supposed to say you God too. We all a part of this big thing. God created all of us, right? But when I say, I really feel like, because like she said, made in the image. But since we're all the same, we're all made in that image. Even the mutations that change color of your skin, it still don't take nothing from within. We all can be tracked back to the same thing. We are all the same. So we're all God. We can all claim that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel what she's saying, but it was just the color was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point, everybody was black. Every human was black. That's just science, man.
Kirk in a little like suede dress that looked like something a Navajo would have worn. And Adam was white as white could be, and he had a little like barbershop haircut. In the Mormon video of Adam and Eve, I always pictured Adam and Eve being white, just like me. And I believed that I was literally descended from them. So this is the core of white supremacy, the belief that God made
that false picture of Jesus. That's what that's come from.
Adam and Eve perfect. And then the belief that all good things in the world came through white Aryan lineage. This is the Third Reich.
What's so crazy about that ideology is that white people can't produce no other people other than white people. You know, you can get two black people and they can produce an albino, a blonde hair, blue-eyed albino. Two black people can do that. Two white people can't make no black baby. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? So like every race can come through black. So that's why, like, with the white supremacy and the whole Third Reich and all of that, it's so fake and false. And it's like Trump really support this stuff. He trying to do away with black history, trying to bury ours. That's what Hitler did. Hitler burned books and stuff like same stuff, man. Same exact playbook.
Is Nazism. He's not even hiding it. But I think that it's hidden inside because a lot of people don't understand. So
can't hide it.
This belief that whites were so superior, that they were different than people, is what allowed early Christians in America to own other human beings. That's what chattel slavery was based on. It was based on the belief that African Americans were less than, that they were genetically different. And I believed that they were almost like a totally different species. That because that lineage had been separated for so many years, that we had evolved differently than them. And part of that was because my lineage, like I was descended from Adam and Eve, and then the tribes of Israel and the chosen people. I had descended from the chosen people. I believe.
Really, where her people, Europeans, came up in a place where resources are scarce. So the whole they had to do colonialism to survive. They had to expand, to be more. Like, it's way more dark people in this world than them. They are the minority. They're the real minority, right? So they had, in order to, that little small space in Europe, that's small. You know, dark people was all over the world way before they ever even touched it. So really, we discovered them. It was the other way around, but we weren't looking for them. They needed resources. They needed all the resources they can get their hands on. To this day, that's what Western civilization based on. Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am, Athena. Yes, ma'am. It's all false. It's like all false, but it's something that we just inherently know. We not trying to, when you know facts, you don't run around trying to prove them. It's just, it is what it is. The people that got agendas and lying, they are always the ones trying to, spread some ideology. You don't have to have ideology when you got DNA. You just got the numbers and the DNA. It's nothing to prove. You know what I mean? It's always the shrimp trying to prove themselves. That's like small man complex,
That I believed that from Adam and Eve to me, everything had been revealed through God to his chosen people. And the fact that I was born white meant that I was part of this long race of people that God had instructed. And part of that chosenness is that revelation from God. It's God directly teaching people. Like, I believe that God shared his light and knowledge with every inventor. So the first person that had fire, that was Heavenly Father touching his mind and showing him how to start a fire, literally teaching and instructing him. Like Adam received instructions in the Garden of Eden. I believed that, like, algebra and the written language and everything came from God, that all civilization was direct revelation from God. And by default, anything that happened in the African continent, which I just didn't have the knowledge to understand how much advancement there had been on the African continent, they were less advanced because they were cut off from God. So God wasn't inspiring them with his revelation. God wasn't giving them this technological advancement because they were a cursed people. So that's why Africa was still so primitive, and they were like living in huts. And I grew up with National Geographic, where, whenever you saw photo shoots of African people, they like were half naked and painted faces and pierced noses and things like that. I believed that they had evolved over the years from Adam completely different than us, and that they had lower IQ and they weren't in any way as advanced as us. And then when he gets to the part about Erica being a warrior, again, we're tying into this Aryanism. We're tying into the strength, the enlightenment, the blessedness of the white people.
A woman who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization.
Again, this little bit about civilization. In white supremacy, there is a belief that every good civilized thing that ever happened came from white people. To the point that when archaeologists first started to penetrate the American continent and they discovered some of the ruins of the Olmecs and the Mayans and the Aztecs, they originally speculated that people from Europe must have come over to the Americas because they landed in this whole continent that was full of nothing but brown-skinned people. Some of the French and English archaeologists looked around and they were like, yeah, there must have been white people that came to the Americas and taught them how to build these pyramid-like structures and all of the advancements, the calendars, the mathematical systems, medicinal knowledge that they had. They could not even conceive of the fact that...
The crazy part was she's saying, okay, she got a point. They just was ignorant. They just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Ignorant is not bad. You just don't know. But it wasn't too much longer before then that they was out of slavery. If y'all don't know, the Moorish African, they went over to Europe and enslaved them ruled over Spain. And if y'all don't know, Spain is right there. It's right there by all the other. It's like states in the United States. It's like close. So they ruled over them for 700 years. And That's why a lot of Spanish people from Spain are dark. They was ruled for 700 years, but the slavery that they were in, it was nothing like this slavery. They were actually brought out of the Middle Ages, out of like darkness during that time. And like, I think it was 711 when they started ruling over them in Spain. They didn't know how to bathe right. They didn't know like no science and stuff like that. I added the link to her video in the description of Veronica. I added the link. If you go into my description, you will find the original link to the video. But yeah, like I was saying, man, where was I? Where was I? Oh yeah, 7-Eleven in Spain. You're welcome. 7-Eleven in Spain. That's when African nations started ruling over. Like Africa and Europe is like real close. It's just a small pathway of water that separate them. They very close to each other. So yeah, they gave them culture, you know. So when she said that she thought that them people thought that they didn't, that white people went over there and taught them, nah, they probably most likely knew and hated the fact that the same people that had just stopped ruling over them was already over there. But they knew how intelligent these people was, because that's where they got all of their recent knowledge from. They had forgotten their Roman and Greek time frame. They had lost that knowledge by the time the Africans got to them, start ruling over. And the Africans helped them. They actually brought culture back into Europe. So they helped them. They pulled them out of the dark ages.
The populations of North and South America could have at all done any of this on their own simply because they were brown-skinned. There were books and articles published by some of the early European archaeologists into North and South America where they've stated as fact that we've discovered these civilizations that are proof that Europeans must have come to the Americas. And that was foundational to my Mormon beliefs. The Book of Mormon is literally about people from Jerusalem who, by the way, I was taught would have been white, which they wouldn't have been. Kind of a little hiccup in Mormon doctrine.
Hey, black people in here, what's your experience with Mormons? Is it bicycles with backpacks? Because I've been seeing Mormons in the hood like my whole adult life. I've been seeing Mormons in the hood. They be riding around on their bikes, man. Don't nobody mess with them. They be minding their business. They have their helmets on. They staying safe. They stay in bikes, and then they be switching out of their spots that they live in every 6 months or so. I'm always seeing Mormons on their bikes around here, man. I think I talked to one of them. He lived in my apartment probably it was like 20 years ago. And I was just having a conversation with him. And he was saying that's part of their, like they have to have so many hours of, I forget what they call it when they have to go out into the community or whatever. So yeah, that's my only experience with Mormons. And the fact that I know that they can marry multiple wives, that's about it. I don't know too much about it, but I do know that it's like some white supremacy type of religion.
But I believed that the Mayans, Aztecs, every civilization that had lived on the face of the Americas was because white people from Jerusalem had come to the Americas and they brought all of that knowledge, which they had directly from God. Again, a lot of white supremacy is based on the fact that God speaks directly to his race, his chosen people, those who are descended from Adam.
Who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light.
That right there was such a slam. Pulled us out of the caves and the darkness and into the light. That doesn't sound like white supremacy to probably almost anybody listening to it, right? Like it almost sounds like he's just referencing women. Like, oh, the power of Erica Kirk, the power of women. But he's literally slamming brown people. We lived in caves, the people in Africa, people through the Fertile Crescent, Middle East running around in the desert. And then white people, civilization, Europe, the Roman Empire, the British Empire. That caves is racist. this little phrase was racist. I'm going to back this up here.
Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors, of women who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light. The light will defeat the dark. We will.
You guys, that was just white supremacist. The light will defeat the dark. The white.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I watched that, man. I said, ooh. But see, these people not smart. And this is why I say reparations. This is why I say reparations. Dang, I can't see my Facebook people, y'all. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Maybe. I don't know why I got it. I can't seem to edit the dang on video to be public on my let me see here. Oh, that don't do it. I can't seem to edit the I can't seem to edit it. I don't know why I can't. Oh, let me refresh it. Maybe that might do it. Okay, maybe this might do it. Cuz, I see you, Cornelius. If you're still in here, I see you, cuz. But I can't. I'm trying to pull your comments on my main screen. You probably can see them on you can see the comments on the screen, but you can't see no Facebook comments on the screen. So I'm trying to fix that. Let's see here. Move module. I don't know how to see insights. The privacy, that's what I'm trying to adjust. Oh well, let me continue though. I don't want y'all in here for nothing.
Will defeat the brown. It's just white supremacist talk, and he's saying it on a stage in front of everybody.
Yeah. What I was saying was, these people are not too smart. The reason why I was saying reparations is on the way is because they took their mask off. So now we can literally, once these people leave up out of office, because it ain't gonna happen while they in office, we can sue the government for these 4 years that they about to be in there, for this state-sanctioned violence towards our people. Yeah. Now this would be a gateway for reparations. They should have kept the mask on. They should have kept the KKK. They should have kept them hoods on. But since they couldn't, they just too comfortable. Trump then emboldened them so much that they don't even realize that this gonna be a backlash. We finally about to get some white backlash. It's always some black backlash when we doing something. Obama, that's what we dealing with this shit for now because of Obama. We dealing with all of this because of Obama, because they hated the fact that a melanated man. See, but y'all ain't seen nothing. Obama was half white and half African. He wasn't even from slave descent. Y'all get a slave descent in there, one like that think like me. Y'all ain't seen nothing. Y'all ain't seen nothing. We're going to have reparations. No black people will have to work no more. I'm going to make it to where, no, your ancestors worked enough. You will never have to work again. Yeah, I will make it to where white people, y'all want all the jobs, y'all can get all the jobs. Y'all go out there and work. Go out there and work. And we just stay at home, never have to work. Trust funds forever. Yeah, let's play the rest of this.
Across the world. And the fact that he has that level of comfort saying this terrifies me.
Veil over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened.
Who is they? One.
They ain't got none of this energy for none of these countries that got these nuclear weapons, though. They want to mess with us. They want to mess with black people. That's the crazy part. We ain't even got the power to do none of these people. And we really love them because we know that they come from us. They don't put no fear. We ain't worried about them. Like, we good. We ain't worried about no fighting no white people. We ain't worried about it. We never have been. Even when we was enslaved. We seen the fear that y'all been fearful just being around us. We ain't scared of y'all. We ain't fearful of y'all. We know it ain't no fight between us. The fight is y'all versus y'all. Your worst version of you versus the best version of you. That's it, because y'all been fed some false ideology about who y'all are, so you definitely don't know who we are.
Guy killed Charlie Kirk. There was no they. We didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Black people didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Immigrants from Mexico didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Feminists like me, atheists like me, we didn't kill Charlie Kirk.
They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing.
He chatty. That was
This
like
is the supremacy part of white supremacy. And this American Christian extremism that we're seeing, which foundationally is based on white supremacy, is so terrifying because I literally believed that I was better than everybody. I literally was told from birth that I was chosen. I'll link in the description here my article.
Yeah, and you know I was never told that. Never told that. I was always told, look within, look, you have the power of God within you. You are made in God's image, but never to use it as a way to say I'm better than. You know, I think if you understand who you are as a melanated person, you just naturally know that your presence alone speaks. Like, you don't even have to say a word. You know, you could change the whole mood in the room without even saying a word, just your presence. As much as people try to ignore you, try to act like you're not there, try to be dismissive towards you, that's proof that you actually controlling their mind. You got so much space in their mind, they just thinking about you. You sitting up there with pleasant thoughts. They sit up there thinking the worst things they can imaginable about you. Yeah, I never felt like I was better than. But, you know, I guess when if you are the most recessive genetically, if you make one slip up, you make one friendship of a dark person, it could change your whole lineage. Like, your whole lineage won't be what they were before. You know, which I think a lot of it, since 23andMe, DNA and all, I think I work with a lot of white people, and they come up to me and say, man, I just did this DNA test and I'm 7% black and I'm this percent. I think we all at this point got some genes of everybody in us without even, knowing the fact that we all originally from Africa. That gene can't necessarily be pulled out, but it can be traced to a certain tribe in Africa. So, but to know that you was mixed, so you got a certain percentage, that had to been more recent. That had to been within, a few 5-6 generations. So a lot of white people come up to me and say, I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 7, 8%, black in me. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's what's up, but they still not going to identify. I don't even know why they be telling me this shit.
Substack, entitled I Was a White Supremacist, that talks about some of the childhood indoctrination that I received, and that changed me. I would be riding around town in the back of our station wagon, and I would see Navajos in my hometown in Flagstaff, Arizona, where I spent part of my childhood, and I would think I'm better than them. Look at them, they're brown-skinned, they're Navajos, they're descendants of the Lamanites. look at me, I'm in my nice little car with my cute little white family. I'm better than them. That supremacy, that they are nothing. Do you guys?
Always felt that that's what they thought. That's what you could feel it. If you black in this country and you grew up when I grew up, especially, it ain't even got to be when I grew up. It's probably happening more now because everything's starting to hit the fan. Just like when bees about to die, they just start stinging everybody. So we towards the end of this, a lot of these people being educated, but they don't want to, they want to believe the lies that they was told. So when you've been lied to and you want to believe the lie, this is like a battered wife. You will stay in that relationship knowing that it's not good for you. Like, it's not good for you. And them be the ones, it's called like Stockholm syndrome. Like, the captor will fight for the person that's holding them captured. That's what that Stockholm syndrome is. Like, the person that's being held will actually start defending the person that's got them hostage. That's what Stockholm syndrome is. So it's like Steven and Django, that kind of person, you know what I'm saying? And it's a whole lot of white people that defend MAGA, white supremacy. They know it's not right. But them be the ones that crash out for it. Them be the ones that will lose it all for something that they know isn't right. And they'll never get to where this lady at, where she, sharing her experience with it.
To realize how horrifying this is, that a human being can stand in a stadium full of 100,000 other humans and say they are nothing about other humans and get applause. It's not just the words coming out of his mouth that alarm me. It's the millions of people across the country that are supporting this, supporting the belief that another human being is nothing.
I say that all the time. I don't even be mad at Trump so much so as I'm mad at the people that voted for him, that believe in that bullshit. That, all of y'all, all the people that see this, that voted for him, y'all the problem. It's not even Trump. It's not Stephen Miller. It's the people that stood behind this, that secretly supported, not even secretly, supported, got their MAGA flags out there, just know they wrong, and want to be wrong to the death.
That was me for most of my life. I believed that the members of my church, the people that I saw on Sunday, those that had, gotten baptized and accepted Jesus and were doing the right things. And I grew up in a church that was racist. Black people were not allowed to go to the Mormon temple until I was in like kindergarten. So
Damn, don't nobody want to go to that. Who black? Look, man, please, somebody. Who black? I looked this up recently too. I looked up Black Mormons, and I was just curious to know, is it any Black Mormons? And I didn't find too much. I think I found one video a dude made, and I didn't even want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, like, why would you? But I knew it had to be some. You know what I'm saying? Because our people, this is what religion do to the people that are the most confused or lost about themselves. They will follow anything. Anything. A lot of black people, there isn't any X-race. You are or you ain't. Well, see, I'm going to say this, L. Sing Stock. Race isn't real. So it's really a false ideology. If you re-educate yourself, you can understand that, okay, so I don't know how you look, but I'm assuming you white. Can you comment? Are you white or black? Are you melanated or are you non-melanated? Non-melanated mean no melanin. You don't have no melanin. You don't look like me, okay? Because that's basically what it breaks down to. Either way, if you re-educate yourself and if you say out your mouth, I am black too. We are black. I just need you to say it though. You know what I'm saying? That's like you coming out the matrix. If you say everybody black, you like put that into the atmosphere, man. You could start to literally see what it is humans. What I look for in people, I just look for a human. That's it. That's it. And I'm happy to encounter any human being. So if you start, you got to re-educate yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or ma'am, I don't know if you're a man or a woman. But yeah, it's a such thing as ex-racist.
I didn't have any black people in my life. I didn't have anyone except for white people around me. The fact that this man is so comfortable saying that other human beings are nothing and that other people applaud this should terrify all of you.
You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy.
It was actually refreshing to me. It didn't, like I said, we don't fear, we especially don't fear no racist white people, like, because we know that they just confused. You know, they like a raging bull. You know, you just, put the little thing in his face and just move it out to let them keep on running. You know what I'm saying? Let them run into a wall. You can't let them get you though. They will hurt you, but what you got to do is to get out their way. Let their momentum carry them over the cliff. Yeah, ain't nobody fearful. I'm not. I'm glad he said what he said. That's what I'm saying about reparations. I know reparations is coming because these people so emboldened, and now the government is sanctioning it. You know what I mean? Just like the FCC dude, Jimmy Kimmel got a case now. If he would have never said what he said, he feels so emboldened to say what he said. Now Jimmy Kimmel finna get a free paycheck. Boom. It's like they forgot that they represent the government. They not representing their self-interest. They in the government. They about to have the government coming out of so much money. And I'm glad. I'm glad these people that took their hoods off. I'm glad that they feel emboldened. We always knew this is how this country was. We always knew it. Our ancestors really felt the brunt of it. Yeah, this ain't nothing new.
Our hatred,
that envy is really important because, again, that's supremacy. That's what stratification, status, and power is. He is better than us. White people are better than everybody else, and they're elevated. So envy, people in the caves, those dark people, the wicked people, we are looking up at them and we are envious. By the way, this was a huge undercurrent of Nazi propaganda. In Nazi propaganda, you would often see these blonde white people, a lot of moms and families with beautiful little blonde.
Yeah, it's the same. I've been saying that. Man, it's nothing but a picture, nothing but a page out of the Nazi handbook, man. The pure, man, whatever. Y'all just the least melanated. That's it. Y'all the least, like, melanated. You know what I'm saying? Not the least human. Like, y'all, we all us. Y'all just don't have as much melanin. That's it. It's just, you're not special at all. And actually, like I said, if y'all idolize that blonde hair and them blue eyes so much, and you make one mistake, go sleep with an Irishman. Go sleep with a redhead Irishman. It's gonna mess up your whole gene pool. That's not pure. That's what you call, like I said, that's what you call the least powerful gene. It's not pure at all. It's just you don't have as much melanin, period.
Children, and they would be standing in a wheat field with the Jewish citizens of Germany, who were often portrayed as very dark with big noses and these gray complexions, just really looking sickly, looking like they had gone through 3 months of chemotherapy, is what a lot of the Nazi propaganda portrayed Jews as looking like. And you would see them looking up at the Aryan families in the propaganda posters as though they were jealous, as though they were envious. And the propagandists always showed that elevation. They always showed the Aryan people above the Jewish people. It's just.
I'm going to say this, a lot of our people here in America, black people, they have developed, a lot of them, just being honest, they have developed some like I wouldn't say envious, like, but some it's the self-hate is so deep within our community. A lot of black kids, you will hear black kids, especially watching YouTube and watching certain all white shows growing up with this propaganda. They want to white doll little girls, they wish they was subconsciously, they wish they was white, We'll even ask the question, why I can't be white? It start young. I remember my mother, I had all brothers, so we didn't have no sisters playing with no dolls. But either way, my mother, she made sure that we were like tapped into, because my mother was dark skinned, And so within our community, if y'all white and don't know, we have something called complexionism, where the light-skinned of us, they can talk. People listen. The dark-skinned of us, people say, why is he talking? You can feel the racism within the black community, like against each other. So, yeah, and that like self-hate it start young. Like what she talking about, how she was taught young to think she was superior. In our community, we're taught young to think of each other as more inferior. So we're taught inferiority. She was taught superiority when she was young. It started young. That's why with my kids, I got 2 darker kids and 3 kind of lighter kids. With my darker kids, I ain't gonna lie. Now, my kids, I love y'all. I love all y'all equally. But I'm gonna be honest. I put a little bit more edge into my darker kids because I knew what they were up against. I knew this society, you know what I'm saying? I'm dark, to an African, I'm probably light skinned, but in America, I'm dark. So I had to put some extra edge on my 2 oldest, them was my 2 darker kids, and let them know, look, you are made in the image of God. I gave them extra spiritual, all my other kids too, but I made sure to let them know how powerful that melanin was, that they got the sunlight inverted. This is inverted sunlight. We shine from the inside out. That's all melanin is. It's just we communicate with the sun, our power source. We communicate with the energy of this universe that we in. We know how to communicate with it. It is what it is. And I gave them lessons like that, far out lessons, let them know that they attached to the Most High through that melanin. They could communicate. And both my older kids are very spiritual. They don't really talk too much. They listen a lot, and they know how to, feel the room. They know how to, they took what I showed them and they translated it to their, to their generation. And they know how to use these tools that I was building them up with from when they was very young. So it started young in the home, just like with any home, any person with kids. You have to build your babies up. Don't build them up with superiority or inferiority. Just let them know that they special, that they got a purpose, that they was put here on purpose. They came out of love, and matter of fact, not only are they not better, ain't nobody better than nobody. That's what I train my kids to know. Nobody's better than nobody. We all special.
Despicable. It's horrible.
Have been turned into fire in our hearts. And that fire burns with a righteous fury that our enemies cannot comprehend.
Righteous fury. He's invoking God. He's sanctifying hatred. Righteous fury has killed billions of people around the world. Do you know how many people have been killed in the name of God? I'm going to invoke God, and then I'm going.
I swear, man. And now when I speak on God, I'm just speaking on what I feel inside. This religious God that a lot of people use, that's a weapon. A lot of them, when they talking about God, they talking about hurting somebody in the name of God. Like, it ain't what they're saying, it's how they saying it. So you can just feel the hate, sometimes people say God.
I'm going to start a crusade, and I'm going to go into the Holy Land and kill everybody who isn't Christian. Spanish Inquisition, obviously not just Christianity. I'm always Christocentric because I'm a former Christian, but righteous fury is always a problem and should terrify everybody.
Those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have you are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create.
We produce them. See, this is what I always say, man. Like I said, all life comes from Africa. All life comes from what we call Black people. After you get life, that's the most you can get. So, and then on top of that, here in America, we gave them free labor, for hundreds of years, help set the foundation for this country. So, man, what is this dude talking about? Everything my ancestors did might have most likely set the foundation for his ancestors to even come over here.
Nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity.
Again, this is just basic white supremacy 101. This was my belief my whole entire life, that white people descended from Adam and Eve had built all of civilization, everything that had every medical advancement, every engineering advancement, everything had been built by white people. After I left the Mormon church, I'm 51 years old. It was literally like 4 years ago that I started to learn about like ancient cultures that hadn't been white people, that had actually had technology, like some of the stuff out of Egypt.
You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk?
That's what I said. She most likely, got educated. She learned about people outside of her culture, and that's most likely what pulled her out of that rabbit hole that she was in her whole life. So yeah, that's what's happening. And a lot of white supremacy people, I'm imagining, are like in a storm because they hearing and seeing these facts about human evolution, and they seeing like, oh damn, we are originally from Africa. But damn, why did y'all lie to me? You know what I'm saying? So they having a conflict, you know what I'm saying? Because the people that, said they loved them the most shared this ideology with them. So to go against the ideology for a lot of people, that would be like going against their loved ones. So that's a storm right there.
You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy.
Just a personal observation. Charlie Kirk was a very mean person. And if they're about to carry on that legacy, that also terrifies me.
And we will
terrify me too, man. It's like, okay, let me rephrase that. I'm not terrified. I'm just, I grew up or in the workforce, my whole experience going to work. When Martin Luther King Day come, all my white coworkers would go to work. They never wanted that day off. And I noticed that. I'm like, you know what? This is a day to me represent peace. Like I'm gonna reflect on who I love the most, who I'm peace. I just want to reflect on peace and what that mean to me on Martin Luther King Day. So no, I'll never work that day. But I'm imagining if they make a day for Charlie Kirk, I know it's gonna be black people at work. Because I know I ain't never taking that day off. I'm not celebrating it. And I'm going to let it be known to anybody that do why I'm not celebrating it. And look, if they want to make a big deal about it on the job, because look here, I'm going to bring up how, I took 20 years of working with these white folks and them telling me about, I don't celebrate Martin Luther King Day. What he ain't done nothing to me, for me. And you know what I mean? So, man, this dude wasn't no Messiah. Shoot, he was the exact opposite of one. Like his message represent hate. That ain't no Messiah.
The rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charlie gave his last measure of devotion.
Charlie Kirk was shot while saying that trans people commit more school shootings than the average. Charlie Kirk hated transsexuals. And that was, unfortunately, the last sentence that would come out of his mouth.
You cannot defeat us. You cannot slow us. You cannot stop us. You cannot deter us.
We can, and we have to, and we must.
We will carry Charlie and Erica in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization.
Again, just all the references to civilization. This is just white supremacy. And again, the othering, the we, the them, the somebody else, the inner group and the outer group. There was one gunman with a possible accomplice who killed Charlie Kirk. I didn't kill Charlie Kirk. You didn't kill Charlie Kirk. None of us did. I didn't want him dead. I wanted him at some point to mature and maybe live.
Right. Yeah, I wanted him to mature, man. You know, like, you don't give up on nobody, you know. You don't give up on nobody. But when they, you know, when certain people are so rabid, you know, like Hitler was, man, like Hitler had that look in his eye, man. If somebody could have just, I ain't gonna even lie, if somebody could have just took Hitler out, man, that would have saved a whole lot of lives. You know what I'm saying? Not to say like, you know, anybody would have, but when you look at what the carnage that he did, that Hitler did, I mean, I just don't think that any successor to him would have went as far as he went. So I think it would have, you know, taking care of Hitler would have eliminated the problem of them killing all them innocent people just because he hated them. You know, that was the craziest stuff in the world, man. But yeah, nobody wanted to see nothing happen to this Charlie Kirk dude at all. He wasn't no elected official. So it's like, you know, nobody in my community, he wasn't on my algorithm. I didn't know who he was. I did not know who he was to the day he died. I did not know. Didn't know. All I heard was somebody got shot on live. Somebody got hit on live. That was it. That's all he was to me. He wasn't even a name. Somebody got, you know, hit on live. And my woman called me. She was like, "Yeah, dang, I just seen somebody." I said, "Dang, for real?" So I wasn't going looking for it, but I just was like, "Dang, that's crazy." I prayed, you know, like, dang, you know, whoever that was. Then I found out who he was. Most Black people didn't know who he was. We never heard of him. He was not on our radar at all. Like, he debated college students. That's not on my algorithm. I don't look at, you know, grown people going to college just talking to kids. You know, I talked to my college student daughter, you know, who just graduated, top of the class. My oldest daughter, she was in college. I went there to go see her. You know, she ran track. That was it. You know, I'm not going to no school, talk to no little kids. You know, that was not what I'm going to do. So that wouldn't have came up on my algorithm.
A better life. This is despicable and diabolical.
To save the West, to save this republic.
The West and the Republic, that's code word for white people. The West is white people. The Republic is white people.
Because our children are strong, and our grandchildren will be strong, and our children's children's children will be strong.
That strength comes from superiority, supremacy. It's just better genetics. It's the pure Aryan bloodline.
And what will you leave behind?
Wow.
Nothing. To our enemies, you have nothing to give.
Bro, I'm living my man. I'm living proof that my ancestors, you understand, went through what they went through. Yeah. This country really wish they could erase the descendants of slaves. They really wish they could erase us. They really wish they could. You know, then they wouldn't have to hear Joseph Goebbels. Oh, I know all about Joseph Goebbels. Oh, man, yeah, he is. He is. He is. AB. That's Joseph Goebbels. Yeah, I'm familiar with he was the propaganda minister. That's exact. You know what? I thought the same thing. He looked like him. Goebbels had that limp, right? He had that limp. Goebbels had that limp. Yeah. He was very insecure. He was Hitler's propaganda minister, and he was ahead of Goebbels. Goebbels had films. He was the propaganda chief, so he made sure that certain messages got out how they wanted them got out. The certain spin, he made sure that that Nazi spin was on everything that came out of that Nazi machine. You are 100% correct. He is the MAGA's Goebbels. That's why Trump made him so prominent. He looked like him. He even looked like him. Goebbels was an ugly, skinny dude. Yeah, he looked just like Goebbels.
If you have nothing to offer, you have nothing to share but bitterness. We have beauty. We have light. We have goodness. We have determination. We have vision. We have strength. We built the world that we inhabit now, generation by generation, and we will defend this world.
They built the system, I'll say that much, but they didn't physically build too much of nothing. They built the system. Now Russia, and not even Russia, but China and Africa aligning together. Africa got the resources. China got the infrastructure to turn the resources into product. They are the business. They cut the middleman out. The middleman was always Western civilization. Western civilization has been cut out. BRICS is in effect. BRICS, if y'all don't know, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And that's a new alliance. And they basically cutting out the American dollar as being the currency of choice. So now they trading their currencies. And they using the same system, but not using the same people that built the system. So yeah, I'll give them credit for that. They built this system, but now that system is working against America because of this kind of ideology.
We will defend goodness. We will defend life.
That's ownership, by the way. White people came up with the innovation. White people came up with all of the advancements. Civilization wouldn't exist if it wasn't for this pure lineage. And so we own this. We own America. We own everything, the technology, the electricity, the computer that I'm recording on right now. And this all belongs to white people.
We will defend virtue. You cannot terrify us. You cannot frighten us.
Virtue, that's a nod to purity. These American Christian extremists and white supremacists believe that everything about them is more pure. They eat pure food. They have pure DNA. They like more pure entertainment. They have the cloak and the mantle of the divine on them. Again, he invoked the angels at the very beginning. So that purity, that pure bloodline is supremacy. The word supremacy means I'm supreme, I'm superior, I'm better than.
Yeah.
So he's
well, really, they're the Pharisees in the Bible. If y'all know what the Pharisees is, the Pharisees is the wicked people. They are the modern Pharisees and don't even know and trying to convince everybody they God like.
That once again, that I'm better than.
You cannot threaten us because we are on the side of goodness. We are on the side of God. And to my friend Charlie, to my brother Charlie, I know you are looking at us right now. I know you're watching Erica right now. I know you're watching your children right now.
That word brother was important too. It's always a fraternity. We are the brothers in this cause.
And I promise you, my friend, I promise you, my brother, we will prove worthy of your sacrifice.
The words.
Yeah, and I don't like brother. I don't like it when I tell white, especially white dudes, don't call me no brother. I ain't your brother. Nah, don't. It's like they playing on how we say the word. All right, brother. Nah, don't brother me, man. Don't brother me. I ain't your brother. Yeah.
Sacrifice there is really loaded. Charlie did not choose for his life to be ended. And I don't think that he would have. I don't think that he would have left his wife and his children behind. I don't think that he would have left his work and his family or anything behind. He didn't choose to do that. He was killed at an event that seemed low risk enough that he didn't even have that much security, and there weren't that many police officers present. So it was a low risk day. He didn't sacrifice himself.
We will prove worthy of your time on earth. We will make you proud. We will finish the job. We will defeat the forces of darkness and evil.
Again, the forces of darkness, yes, some of that is satanic, some of that is biblical. So that would be sinners. That would be people living together without being married. That would be single moms. That would be people who smoke marijuana. That would certainly be anybody on the LGBTQ spectrum. That would be people who are dark, people who aren't Christians. Atheists are, darkness, evil, sinners, followers of Satan. Buddhists, Muslims, anyone who isn't Christian would fall into that category. But again, darkness is a theme, and that is a white supremacy theme. And he also means that in a racist context.
And we will stand every day for what is true, what is beautiful, what is good. And we will achieve victory for our children, for our families, for our civilization, and for every patriot who stands with us. God bless you. God bless Turning Point. God bless Erica. God bless the Kirk family. God bless our heroes. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Joseph Goebbels.
By the way, that was a very Nazi-like gesture at the end there. And that was a salute.
Wow, I didn't catch that. Let's rewind that.
And for every patriot who stands with us, God bless you. God bless Turning Point. God bless Erica. God bless the Kirk family. God bless our heroes. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
He did it kind of fast.
And God bless the United States of America.
There you go. Man, I ain't even catch that. Yeah, that's Joseph. AB, what'd you say? That's Joseph Goebbels. Yep, Joseph Goebbels. Man, I did so much research on Nazism, man. Like really since Trump got in there the first time, I went down a deep rabbit hole. Like I was watching documentaries every day. And just, trying to familiarize myself with the names of these ministers and Nazism and the terminology they was using, the hand gestures they was using, just the fear that or the trance that the German people was in. I said to myself, I hope this is not happening in America. But I was seeing it, the MAGA flags and the worshiping of Trump. And I'm like, oh, this definitely Nazi Germany type shit going on here. And of course, we're the Jewish in that equation. Of course, we're the one that, just like in Nazi Germany, they took out all their aggression out on, they took it all on them. And I think these people, as much as I was doing research to familiarize myself, I think a lot of MAGA idolize Hitler. They idolize, just like they idolize the Confederate. They idolize the losers. They idolize the people that was on the wrong side of history. That's what we're dealing with. It's called a reprobate mind. When you wrong and you just continue being wrong. You on the losing side and you want to still hail Hitler. You still want to, why? That's kind of retarded. Like, if you ask me, like, you got to be slow to wave Confederate flags and Nazi flags and shit. And even I said this, that X on Twitter, that's a nod That's why I don't like Twitter. That's why I just created a Twitter. I just created a Twitter so I can stand. And it seemed like Twitter not going nowhere. I thought it would like be gone by now, 2 or 3 years after Elon Musk bought it, but apparently it's still hanging around. So I said, I'm gonna create me a Maryland Speaks Live. I got a Maryland Speaks Live on there, but they try to charge you to go live on there. So that's why you will never see my lives on X, on Twitter. But yeah, I believe that X that Elon loves so much, which that was his first website he ever had. I believe that X is a nod to Hitler and a nod to the Confederacy, like that whole ideology. Yeah. Hell Hitler. Look at this shit. Can't make this shit
Okay,
up.
thank you.
By the way, that was a very Nazi-like gesture at the end there.
Yeah,
that was salute. Again, if you're on the wrong side, he doesn't care about your children. He doesn't care about your grandchildren. They're not pure. They don't have strength. They don't have the lineage. They aren't capable of building civilizations. He does not recognize the contributions of the history of this planet.
He's not capable of even reproducing. Look at this dude. He look like the Release the Hounds. Was that Skinner or on the Simpsons? He looked like the Release the Hounds dude, man. Look at him. Like, man, you weird looking, bro. You can't get no girls. That's your problem. That's what I think any mad, mean, racist person problem, or any mean, mad person, man in general. I think they lacking a woman. I think that's the core of, or they got some issues with women in general. Trump got a wife, but I don't think Trump ever liked women. It's something happened in his childhood. He probably didn't like his mother. You know what I mean? So, man, it's crazy, man. These weirdos that got so much hate. It all can be, tracked to them having issues with the opposite sex. That's what it usually be.
From people who were brown-skinned, from people who weren't European. That is white supremacy. This whole entire talk from beginning to end terrifies me. And I will say that he is wrong about so many things, but the one thing that he is the most wrong about is if there is a them and an us, and if they are drawing that line in the sand, which I personally would have never drawn. I've never, as a former MAGA, very recent former MAGA, former white supremacist, I've never drawn a line in the sand, ever. I've never said, you can't be friends with me, you can't talk to me, you can't be part of my world, I'm fighting against you, this is a war. But if this man and his supporters are going to draw a line in the sand, then here's what you do. You push. That is the denim revolution. It is time for strategic spending. It is time for boycotts. It is time for you out there who feel like you want to make a change in this world to get your political science degrees, to get your law degrees, and run for office and build a better future for our children. It's time for us to speak up and push back against this. It's terrifying. We resist. The biggest thing that we can do to resist this is to rebuild our villages, get to know your neighbors, be friends with everybody, strengthen one another, help each other. If you have single moms in your neighborhood, help them out. Maybe they need a little bit of financial help. Maybe they could use help with the yard work once in a while. Support local businesses. Let's pull the rug out from under the billionaires and the millionaires. For all of human history, we have thrived on cooperation.
Yes,
corporations are the antithesis. They are the enemy to human communities. So build back your tribe, be there for each other. One thing we can do right now is just step back and relax. These people are in power and they are strategizing how to turn the whole entire United States of America into a Christian nationalist, white supremacist New Jerusalem. The Handmaid's Tale is not only coming, it is already here. That's it. I will have a follow-up video to this later this week on the racism that we are seeing that's hidden in plain sight, but it's not if you know what you're looking for. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be hanging out in the comments. Bye.
All right, that's Jenny.
Good morning, everybody.
That's Jenny. I added her link to the original video in my description of this video. So if y'all want to go over there, subscribe to her, tap in with her. I don't think I subscribed to her yet, but I'm gonna check out a couple of other videos and I might subscribe because she felt genuine. I ain't gonna lie. She felt like she made this, for just because she felt compelled to. So it don't feel like it was clickbait or nothing like that, like she had an agenda. But yeah, let me show who this guy looked like to me. Here you go. His name Burns. That's who that guy looked like to me. I'll go back to him. That's who he looked like to me. If I go back and show that other picture towards the end. Yeah, that. Yeah, that. I seen a couple of her videos. Let's say I seen a couple of her videos. She was born and raised in the Mormon household. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, So you must just got here. She was born and raised in the Mormon household, and yeah, she explained that earlier in the video. And she kind of went in about like how she said Mormon, she felt like it was like a cult, like white supremacy type situation. So, and I said earlier in the video, like, I don't know too many black Mormons. Like, I don't think it was made. I think if you black in America, I think you just automatically know that that's not for you. Just like the Amish people, I think I looked up, was it any black Amish people? I just, naturally just think like that wasn't for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not supposed to be doing that. They probably got some laws in the Amish community where, you can't be black, you know what I'm saying? So, there's certain stuff we just know it ain't for us. We know like when white people get together and want to go to a certain state, they don't want us around. Like white flight, like that whole populating the suburbs. That was what I felt growing up in the 80s. One of my best friends lived out in the suburbs. And every time I went to see him, man, like I just felt so like everybody looking at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm dark skinned. My best friend, he was real light. So he looked like he was mixed. He wasn't mixed, but he looked like he was. He was real high yellow and he had gray eyes. So I don't think he felt it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like he knew exactly what I would feel. You know what I'm saying? When I'm going out there to see him, this is my best friend. So I go out there to see him, my best friend. We spend a night and we be walking around. It's a city called Shorts Creek. And I used to go out there. And what's so crazy about going out into the suburbs in the 80s, where I went anyway, that's where I first seen hard drugs. I grew up in a predominantly black area of Flint called Beecher. I never seen cocaine till I went out to the suburbs. When we became teenagers, all his white friends, they partying, they got all these hard drugs. And I'm like, wow, that was bizarre. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, I'm not trying none of that. Like, I'm looking at them like, oh man, y'all on that shit? I couldn't believe it. So yeah, that's what's so crazy. You go into these suburbs, they got drugs. They got hard drugs. We not doing that at that time, especially. Like, we're not doing that. So we looking at them like, oh, y'all on another level. So that's the ironic part. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to say drugs is in our... I done never seen nothing white in my life till I went out to the suburbs and was hanging out with my white friends out there. They not on no hard drugs. Not that I know of. I don't really associate with them now, but we're still acquainted. You know what I'm saying? But that just shook. That. So, would you say IC? Let me put that. They officially don't teach that anymore. but no doubt the beliefs persist. Oh, you talking about Mormonism? I think they still teach it, bro. I be seeing a lot of them around here riding bikes. Or is them Church of Latter-day Saints? Is they the same? Is the Mormons and Church of Latter-day Saints the same? I'm not sure, but I think they are. Are they the same, y'all? Do y'all know the difference between Mormons and Church of Latter-day Saints? Let me go to my Facebook. My cuz is up in here. Ain't nobody in here on Facebook no more. I changed my Facebook profile name to Marlon Speaks Live. A lot of my Facebook friends are from my neighborhood, are from my city, and I was talking to them earlier when I was saying, look, it's time to, it's time to wake up. Like a lot of people in these so-called inner cities, man, they on a different program. They don't see none of this. If they do see it, they don't care about it, But I understand it, you know what I'm saying? I understand a lot of our people in the Black community are so like out of it. Like they probably wouldn't even know who Stephen Miller is. I probably just exposed them to who he is. And they're probably not going to do no research on it because, the algorithm that they attach to is to keep them like to where they not awake. They're not like they sleep. So a lot of them, they are exactly what a lot of like the people like Charlie Kirk would like to put them statistics on, and it's sad, but that's just a portion. A lot of our people are very in tune with everything I'm talking about. And they just, what they're not going to do is go out in public. They scared to lose their jobs. They, that might be the number one thing. They're scared to lose their jobs. I think in the Black community, that's probably the biggest fear. We got a lot of hardworking people in our community, and they are scared to lose whatever little job they got. Whatever, they going to put that job before standing up or speaking. They might feel the way I feel, but they're not ever going to let it be known. And a lot of them be more militant than me. A lot of them be way more. I'm actually not militant. I actually, like I said, my beliefs is everybody Black. So most of my, my people that's not going to say nothing publicly, they don't believe that. Oh no, what? Man, no, them wicked devils, man. So that's how a lot of them feel. So they never will say what I said. They believe. I don't know if they believe Black people are superior. I don't think they believe that. But I just think most Black people, for one, are scared. They scared to lose their jobs. I don't think most of them know how to word. And I know for a fact, I'm probably the only person that believe what I believe, like what I just said, how I said it in my community. I know it's a lot more of us. The video I did earlier was about the 2 white women that found out the truth about Black people, that we are the original man and that we actually hold the key to humanity. So y'all look that video up, man. I'm about to get off this. I've been on here too long. I'm out.